Welcome back to Global Wheel Hub, and today we are diving deep into what might be one of the most talked about entry-level cruisers around, the 2027 Bajaj Avenger 220. We're going to break down everything you need to know, from key features and performance to design, comfort, pricing, and what makes this bike stand out, and what could be better. So get ready, hit that like button, and let's roll. Let's start with what the Avenger 220 is all about. This bike is the modern evolution of Bajaj's classic cruiser philosophy, a laid-back riding experience, effortless highway cruising, and relaxed ergonomics that make it perfect for long weekend trips and daily rides alike. Over the years, Bajaj has refined the Avenger series to stay relevant in a market that loves comfort and character, and the 2027 model continues that tradition with a familiar yet polished formula. When it comes to engine and performance, the Avenger 220 packs a 220A Macron cc oil-cooled fuel-injected engine that produces a healthy amount of power and torque for its Class A, around 19.0 A Macron PS at 8,500 A Macron RPM and 17.55 A Macron Nm of torque at 7,000 A Macron RPM. This engine layout isn't about raw acceleration or blistering speed, it's about smooth, usable torque that keeps you cruising comfortably on highways while still being manageable in city conditions. Paired with a 5-speed transmission, the Avenger makes gear shifts predictable and user-friendly, whether you're crawling through traffic or rolling at highway speeds. Riders often praise its gentle torque delivery and the confidence it inspires on open roads, though it's worth noting that some users mention vibrations at higher revs, especially beyond 90 100 Macron km/h. Let's move to riding comfort and ergonomics, which is where the Avenger really earns its cruiser badge. The bike sports a lower slung profile, relaxed foot peg position, and an upright seating posture that encourages you to sit back and enjoy the ride instead of leaning forward. This seating setup, paired with a wide cushioned seat and pillion backrest, drastically reduces fatigue on long rides, a major selling point for riders looking to cover big distances without tension. This cruiser also offers good wind protection thanks to a tall windscreen that helps when you're rolling at pace on highways. It slices through the wind and reduces rider strain, which is great for touring. However, because of the low seat and cruiser stance, the bike's ground clearance is somewhat limited, which means you'll want to be cautious on rough speed breakers and uneven surfaces. In terms of design and styling, the Avenger 220 sticks to a classic cruiser aesthetic that has grown in popularity over the years. Big swooping lines, plenty of chrome highlights, round headlight, usually LED, and a stance that says relaxed riding. It's a bike that looks best when it's rolling slow and easy. Whether you're navigating city streets or heading out on the highway, its older-school cruiser silhouette turns heads and gives you that timeless feel. Braking and safety are also solid for this price bracket. The 2027 Avenger typically comes with a front disc brake and singly-channel ABS, ensuring confident stopping power even when you're rolling at higher speeds. The overall suspension setup, a telescopic fork up front and twin shocks at the rear, is tuned more for comfort than sportiness, absorbing bumps with a calm, compliant feel. Now let's talk price. One of the biggest reasons this bike continues to be so attractive in its segment. The latest information from the official listings suggests that the Avenger 220 cruise starts at around a superscript 11.25 A Macron lakh our showroom in India, which could translate to a competitive or narrowed price depending on your market and taxes. This pricing lands it in a sweet spot where you're not sacrificing cruiser comfort or road presence while still staying reasonably affordable compared to higher capacity cruisers from other brands. One thing to highlight is mileage and running costs. Owners often report fuel efficiency in the mid-30s kmpl, which is great for a bike of this size and a huge plus if you're planning daily commuting or long rides without frequent fuel stops. Combined with Bajaj's wide service network, the Avenger remains affordable to maintain over the long run. So, What are some unique selling points that make the 2027 Avenger 220 stand out? Classic cruiser ergonomics: a low seat, relaxed posture, ideal for long journeys. Reliable and fuel-efficient engine with good torque for its class. Comfort-focused suspension and cushioned seating. Affordable pricing within reach of many riders looking for cruiser style. Good fuel economy and low running costs. However, no bike is perfect, and the Avenger does have some areas where it could be better. Some riders mention that the bike can feel a bit underpowered at higher highway speeds, or that vibrations become noticeable especially during longer, faster rides. Additionally, while the suspension prioritizes comfort, it isn't as composed in sporty cornering or twisty roads, and that's something to keep in mind if your riding style is more dynamic. All that said, if you're someone who values a cruiser that's comfortable, classic in design, easy to ride, and easy to own, the 2027 Bajaj Avenger 220 is definitely worth a look, especially if you're entering the cruiser segment or want a dependable ride that feels good on both city streets and long highways. Thanks for riding with Global Wheel Hub today. If you enjoyed this full review, smash that subscribe button. Drop a comment with your thoughts on the Avenger 220, and let us know what bike you want reviewed next. Until next time, keep the wheels rolling. FYI, Diaris is Sidilla the Yen.